Hey guys, Buffin Gaming back, bringing another video today for our weapon series, and today we're going to be covering the M13 from Clean House mission. So this is a user requested video that I know a lot of you guys have been asking for. So this is the M13 used in the single player mission called Clean House, where you go in that night operation with the SAS as Kyle Garrett into that townhouse and clear that house. So you'll notice in that gameplay for the single player mission, everyone else, the SAS, is using Kilo 141s or HK 433s, and you, the player, Kyle Garrett, are using the M13 or the SIG MCX Virtus SBR. So let's go ahead and get ready to show you what you need to build this particular weapon, and then we'll get into some gameplay of me using this in multiplayer and seeing how it handles in game. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So here's our final product, and this is a blueprint which we will build now from scratch. So let me go ahead and back out to my M13 armory first, and we have our SIG Virtus SBR, we have our MCX Rattler, which is this exact blueprint. So this is the short stuff blueprint that you need. Now this was part of a pack. I'll link the video that I did on this below for the MCX Rattler. Now this is obviously the same weapon for the M13, just with a blueprint, and it has the Rattler handguard on it, which is why with this particular weapon we slapped the 300 blackout rounds on there and called it the Rattler. And so if you're interested in those videos, I'll link those below. But for this one, you need the short stuff blueprint, which I believe was part of the FNG bundle that was available in the shop slightly before Christmas, earlier in Season 2. And I was able to, it came with this for short stuff, the M13, as well as an MP5 blueprint itself also. So what we're going to need to build this weapon is the short stuff blueprint, which is used by Kyle Garrett in single player for the Clean House mission. So now, to start, the blueprint comes with the Tempest mini barrel. The skeleton stock you can see is a cosmetically changed stock versus the standard M13 stock for the skeleton stock, which we'll jump into here, and then Mo money. So let's go ahead first and just strip this down to the base M13 using the blueprint for the short stuff. So the first attachment we're going to need here is a monolithic suppressor. It's hard to tell which particular suppressor is being used in the mission itself, but there is a suppressor on there, so you can't really go wrong with whichever one you choose. But if you're going to be using this build in multiplayer, what I use is a monolithic suppressor just to get that damage at range, which you desperately need with this weapon to perform anything beyond a medium range. And you'll see in the multiplayer gameplay, I do get some pretty good long distance kills here, a little bit beyond medium range with this being a SBR variant of this weapon. So we'll go ahead and select the monolithic suppressor. That's going to give us sound suppression with that damage at range, the cons being aim down sight speed as well as aim walking steadiness. But we're going to go ahead and mitigate that elsewhere, so let's go ahead and select that. Now the barrel, obviously we want the Tempest mini barrel, which came with the blueprint itself. Now this is going to assist with our ADS speed as well as our movement speed, the cons being bullet velocity and recoil control. So again, it's hard to tell what the length of this barrel is. It could either be a 9-inch barrel or a 5.5 to bring it more in line with the MCX Rattler, but it's hard to tell. But with the handguard for this, it's more in line with a Rattler. So if you're interested in that, check out those videos below where I explain that in more detail. But let's go ahead and select the Tempest mini barrel. Now for the laser, typical night operations, on any night operation map, you're going to have a laser by default on your weapon. But to replicate that, we're going to be using the tack laser. So the tack laser itself here is going to assist with our ADS speed as well as our aiming stability and aim walking steadiness, the con being laser is visible to enemies. So if you had no tack laser or any laser attachment on your weapon and you went into realism and did a night match, you would have a laser by default, and you obviously be aiming with your laser, which you do in that mission for Clean House. But to replicate that on the day map that I played multiplayer on here, I'm going to put the tack laser on. That's going to give us the added benefits of the ADS speed and everything else we just went over. So let's go ahead and select that tack laser. And again, cosmetically, it matches I believe there obviously is a laser on the weapon in Clean House. So let's go ahead and replicate that. And obviously we want the best laser possible. So if you were playing this on realism in night mode, you could probably just select a 1 milliwatt or just go with the base laser that comes with the weapon on realism night ops. Now for the optic, we're going to go ahead and select the operator reflex sight. So this is the one being used in Clean House. Again, this is all personal preference. If you wanted to replicate this to spec as in the mission itself, we'd want the operator reflex sight. So the pros here being precision sight picture, cons being ADS speed, obviously just because it's adding a little bit of weight to the weapon itself, but not much. So we can go ahead and accept that. Now the stock is going to be that M13 skeleton stock. So you'll see this in the mission too. I'll try and show a little bit of gameplay there. And that's going to cosmetically change it from the base skeleton stock that you get on the M13 or the MCX SIG Virtus. So let's go ahead and select that, and you can see what that looks like. I'll compare it to a regular M13 that's not this blueprint after we build this weapon. And then that is all 5 attachments. So we're going to skip out on the perk, the rear grip, the ammunition, as well as the underbarrel. You see in the mission itself there is no underbarrel attachment, and the ammunition is the base 5.45 millimeter rounds, just a regular 30 round mag. It's not the blackout. You can see in the gameplay there for the mission itself, there is this exact transparent magazine, and you can see the added benefits of the cosmetic changes with you have the tape as well as the rubber band and the tape on the magazine as well, and looks more so like a PSB or a pistol stabilizing brace, I believe is what I called it in my Rattler video, but it's basically the same adjustable buttstock that comes on the MP5. So that is the final build for this. This is the M13 variant, or the SIG MCX Virtus, which is used in the mission Cleanhouse for single player. So this is the final build for that weapon. You can see overall, very nice weapon. So let's go ahead and just look at it compared to a similar build that I can make. If I back out here, I'll show you if you don't have this blueprint, because again, it came in shop at a particular time. So if you weren't able to purchase it at the time, it may or may not come back around by the end of the life cycle of the Season 2, so you might have to give it another time. Hopefully it'll come back around. But if we were to build this with just the base M13, with the same attachments, we'll go ahead and throw the exact same attachments on the weapon, operator, and then the skeleton stock. So this is using the base M13, not the short stuff blueprint. You can see there's some significant differences. Obviously, first off being the stock itself. The skeleton stock is a foldable stock, so you can see there it has that piston pivot in the side there where it would fold to the left side of the weapon. So it has that foldable buttstock. It doesn't have the tape on the magazine, and it doesn't have the rubber band or the black electrical tape on the barrel of the weapon itself. And also the underneath of the weapon, you can see it has a Picatinny rail. And if we jump back to our build that we just made for the Cleanhouse version of the weapon, you can see just the differences with the handguard there are completely different, as well as the underneath of the Picatinny rail, you have almost like a built-in. It looks very similar to the tactical foregrip almost, right? Just kind of built in there underneath the Picatinny rail for added support. But that is the major differences with this blueprint. Again, I will link the videos down below for the MCX Virtus SBR that we did, as well as the Rattler, MCX Rattler that we did using this blueprint, because the handguard is more in line with the Rattler. And again, it's hard to tell the actual length of this barrel since it doesn't say in game here. But let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay. So you've seen some multiplayer gameplay of Hardpoint on Azure Cave here. So this is a daytime mission, so it's not too spec with a night mission. But again, if we were to use the same exact build on a night mission in realism, it would be the exact same. So have a pretty good game here on Azure Cave. I end up getting a chopper gunner and a pretty high kill game. You'll see a lot of engagements with this being used at, I would say, it definitely handles really well at close range, but I got some really good kills at beyond medium range because of that monolithic suppressor, especially with the M13 just receiving a buff, which we covered the other day in our favorite weapon series. It did get a buff to reduce the horizontal recoil spread, as well as effectiveness of headshots, which here in realism, that doesn't matter because it's one-shot headshot, but it does help us control our shots a little bit more at range. With that monolithic suppressor, it does help us get that damage at range, which is also part of the buff. It did get a little bit of buff to the damage at range. So overall, we're taking advantage of the buffs that were done to this weapon in last week's patch, and I'm going to let you guys sit back and enjoy the gameplay. I know this is a user-requested video, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is how you build the M13 from the single-player mission Cleanhouse. Now, if you're wondering about the Kilo 141s that the SAS are using, that's basically the Union Black blueprint that we covered the other day in our favorite weapons series, so I'll go ahead and try and link that one down below as well. Just check that out on the favorite weapons channel. Also, be sure to check out the Season 2 wish list that I covered the other week. Goes through all the weapons, attachments, and blueprints that I wanted to see in Season 2 and even the seasons beyond that. Throwing out some ideas there of how to add a couple different attachments to existing guns to give us a lot of different new conversions and weapons we can make, as well as adding very specific, if they were to add the right weapons with the right attachments, again, we can get multiple different weapons out of that. So keep going with the trend that they have started here with the gunsmith. Probably the best addition to the game so far. But let me know down below what you guys think of this weapon from Clean House, the M13 from Clean House. Is this something you'll use online? Also, let me know what kind of weapons you want to see going forward into Season 2 and beyond. Blueprints, attachments, you name it. So I want to hear what you guys want to see, as well as hopefully they'll be releasing some information here in the next coming days. We only have a few more days left in Season 2. I believe Season 3 will start next Wednesday on the 12th. So we're getting really close, a little bit over a week left until Season 2 will start. So let me know what you guys think. And also be sure to check out the social media links down below, as well as Discord, which is now live. So a lot of you have been asking about Discord. Go ahead and jump on in there and join the community. We got some members here. We're kicking things off. We have a Call of Duty channel, an Escape from Tarkov channel, and a bunch of general chat forums there if you guys want to start some topics, share your weapon builds, your favorite weapons, any IRL builds you have. That'd be really cool. Good place to hang out and enjoy the community. So I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. Till next time, Buffner Gaming, out.
Friendly shield turret deployed. Hardpoint contested. Enemies taking the hardpoint. Hardpoint contested. We've taken the hardpoint. Friendly UAV online. Get ready. We're about to move. Hardpoint contested. Enemies taking the hardpoint. Control the hardpoint.
I see movement.
Enemy at the workshop.
Shitting me.
Location under our control. We're about to move. We're crushing them. Stay with me. Hold the hardpoint. Enemy's taking the hardpoint. Silence. Friendly precision airstrike on the way. We control the hard point. Hard point contested. Standby to move. Cruise missile ready. Hard point lost. Hard point contested. Enemy is Go. Get to the next one. Enemies got the hard point. Hardpoint lost. Go, get to the next one.
Take the fire!
Gonna be the cave entrance. The enemy took the hard point. Friendly care package on the way.
VTOL.
Reinforcements
Coming in.
On station. Destroyed building. Hardpoint contested. Stand by. Propaganda. The hardpoint is ours.
Chopper coming.
Thunder 1-3 is in the AO. Go. Get to the next one. The enemy is the hardpoint. Sure. We control the hardpoint. This is Horseman heading back for a supply. Enemy locked on.
I'm getting shots on him with a chopper.
Rest in peace.
There we go.
Went after it. Well done.
That one worked out. Worked out better, huh? There we go. GG.